our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas and we have wonderful guests. Well, this is what you might consider a wild idea, but it's really amazing at the same time. And I'm having ThunderBeat on, and she is a musician, an author, composer, sound healer, teacher, and a DNA facilitator. And I have in the description here all the things that she's done. She's won numerous awards for as a musician and a sound healer and writer and so on. And anyway, she's the one that discovered these wonderful faces in the rocks. And we're going to take a look at some of the pictures. So let me bring her on right now.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Great. Hi, Gail.
Fantastic. Well, we have some very interesting pictures to show people, and of the Egyptians here in Sedona. That's just so amazing. And I see it. I mean, sometimes you have to look a little while or look away and then look back, and then you see, but some of them are really obvious too.
Yeah.
So, definitely something to it.
Yeah, I moved here about 23 years ago in Sedona, and I instantly saw these faces like everywhere. But I'm, part Native American, which as a child I was always taught like to see the faces in the rocks. When you see the faces in the rocks, you see the ancient ones and the ancient wisdom. So I would always look at rocks differently. So it's about a 20-year project putting this book together, because I wasn't even going to do a book, but all my friends kept saying, oh my God, this is mind blowing. You got to do a book. So I put it together, and it's about, like I said, a 20-year project. And I found ancient Egypt here in Sedona. I mean, we're talking real deal. 14 major gods and goddesses. We got, Thoth, and Thoth is known to be an Atlantean. So he's been I found him in two places. So he's been around, and I did my research. Now, Sedona, 2 hours south of here, is Phoenix. They found an area there they call Little Egypt, and they have hieroglyphs. They found ancient hieroglyphs of Egypt there in 2 hours south of here. So then 2 hours north of here is the Grand Canyon. They talk about finding the ancient relics of Egyptian in the Grand Canyon 2 hours north of here. Then in Lake Powell, which is 3 hours north of here, they found more Egyptian hieroglyphs. So something is definitely going on here. It's this is real deal. And then I did my research. It's all that information is in my book, that they found a cave in Mexico, and they found all these carved rocks with ancient Egyptian artifacts on them, and they date them back from 10 to 30,000 years ago. So, and that is probably, I don't even know how far it is from Sedona, but I really feel they came up this way or something. Something's going on here. I'm still trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together, but I have found the figures everywhere. They actually kind of guided me. The rocks are alive. They are. So we can show the proof on the pictures, that's for sure.
Yes, definitely. So let me bring some pictures on. We'll start with, and you can explain a little bit about each of them as they come up, okay? Sure. Now, hopefully we go off to the side here like we did before. There we go. Okay. So we have Osiris.
Yes. So the picture below it is the walls of Egypt. And there he is. They're so big. These relics are so big. They're the sides of the mountain. I mean, the whole mountain is this chiseled carving that is Osiris. It's definitely Osiris. What's really interesting is that I do a tour. Egypt is the Sedona tour, Faces in the Rocks, and one lady I brought on the tour. She works in a mine. She for 15 years. When I started giving her the tour, she goes, "Oh my God, look at these cut lines. These cut lines are just like the mind I work in. These are not natural." I said, "Thank you for telling me that, because that is," she goes, "yeah, these are all cut. You can see the cut lines." And she pointed them out to me. It was amazing.
We're losing you a little bit,
Okay.
ThunderBeat. Your connection seems bad for a moment here.
Am I there now?
It's better.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not all green like it was, but
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you and see you now. It's better. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're back up to green totally. Sorry. Keep going now.
Okay. So yeah, they're so big, the size of mountains. So let's show the next shot here.
Okay. I got to ask you though, is that because they were actually that big at that time?
What do you mean? The people?
The people, yeah. Giants.
I think, they're so huge. I think they're giants. And,
yeah.
That's the whole history of giants has been hidden. So when you go to the temples, I've been to Egypt many times. When you go to some of these temples in Egypt, the ceilings and doorways are so big, you can't even see the drawings on the ceiling because they're so big and high. I mean, why would you do that, unless you were giants? They are hiding.
Yeah, really.
So, they're massive in the doorways and the temples. I don't even know how many feet high they are in Egypt, but they are so high that you can't see the tops of the pillars. It was like, what's up there? So that's interesting. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I've never been there. That's fascinating. I'd love to see that. Well, what's the real story with Osiris? You have the
Osiris. He was the ruler of the first pharaoh of Egypt. Him and his wife Isis, and Isis was the queen, and actually their sisters and brother. And what happened to him, why they're betraying him like this, laying down, is because his brother was very jealous of him, Seth. He was very jealous, and he ended up, in long story short, he ended up killing him and cutting him up in 14 pieces and spreading him all over Egypt. And they say that's the ancient books, right? The ancient history. And so that's why they have him laying down,
I just read something about what do they call it? That Merovingian man, the guy with the arms up and done by Da Vinci, saying something about there were 14. He was relating it back to this. I just skimmed it, so I don't remember everything, but it was fascinating too. So we can go to the next one.
Yeah.
Isis.
Yes. Okay. Go to the next one after that for her whole shot.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the write up about her. Okay. Now, if you really look closely, there's the middle picture is the walls of Egypt. And then you see her headdress with the snake. There's the headdress and the snake. There's her arm. There's her arm, her hair right there. And her whole body is carved out. And there's the cut line right there, major cut line. She is about 70, 80 feet tall. And she's right next to her husband, Osiris, right there. She, if you look at that, it's so obvious. So that's her, and she is here. She's amazing. So, and most of the Egyptian figures are all together in one area. There's different areas that I found Kuan Yin, I found Ganesh in a whole different area. Like there was different cities, here, ancient cities. This is long lost history, thousands and thousands of years ago that no one knows about. And I'm just discovering it now. So,
well, I would have to wonder too, what happened? Some kind of cataclysmic event that they just got,
Well, good question, because
frozen in spot.
well, see the red rocks there, and then if you see the white rocks, there was a flood. A flood happened. And those red rocks turned red because they were underwater. Their iron ore base. So when they were underwater, they turned red. What otherwise they were white.
Oh,
And
wow, I didn't know that. That's
yeah,
fascinating.
and they
But
say thousands of years from now they'll turn back to being white again.
I'll be darned. Yeah, because another friend of mine said, a psychic friend too, said that there were dolphins and whales swimming between the rocks here at one time, but that would be during the flood, probably, huh?
Yeah, the water was here, and it was pretty high for a long period of time, very high. And I've actually can see visions. When I first got here, my friends they know how psychic I am, and they go, "Okay, what do you see?" I said, "This place used to be underwater." I said, and I see the ships docking, and they had actual flying machines. They really did. I saw them with my own eyes, and I said, "That's what they talk about in Atlantis time." So that major flood was 13,000 years ago, about 13,000 years ago, the Atlantean flood. Now, the Noah flood was about 6,000 years ago. So I've done my research on this, and it's pretty intense. It's incredible information. So
It certainly is. Okay, let's go to the next one. Thoth.
yes. Now that's him in two places. Now, if you really look, if you know what Thoth looks like, he's an ibis bird. Look at that, it's a statue. It's a bird. He's got a headdress on. He's got his arms right here.
Week.
It's the whole statue. And then he was a scribe. He was a writer. There is a tablet right in front of him. Look at that. See it? And then this is a rock. They call it coffee pot rock here, which they think it looks like a coffee pot. I said, no, that's Thoth.
Huh?
From the front, the right side view, and then there's actually they share the rock with Ra, and he's a bird, and his eye is here. Would I have another shot of that? And on the side view, and it's just mind blowing. But the can you hear me? The ancient knowledge, yeah, there you go. See the view how it looks different on the side view.
Yeah.
And there's Ra, and in the ancient scriptures, Ra and Thoth work together. Ra actually asked Thoth to design the pyramids in Egypt. So he was the architect of the pyramids. And Ra asked him to do that. So they worked together for who knows how long, eons. They got the same rock. I noticed they got the same rock. I can feel the energies,
Uh-huh. Yeah, they call it Coffee Pot Drive, right?
Yeah, they call it Coffee Pot Rock. It looks like coffee pot to them. This is Nephtes. Look at her whole face is there. She's right next to Osiris also. There's Osiris and then Isis and then her. And it's still blowing me away. Look at the face, It's there were the 9 major gods, and they're all stacked up in a row all together in one area. That is no coincidence. It's like, hello. So I know my, Egyptian history. I've been studying ancient history for 25 years. So I, instantly recognize them, and I'm like, look at this. This is amazing. So then we got Sekhmet right next.
I like this one.
Yeah, a lot of people like
the story.
Sekhmet, and she's a lion goddess, and there she is. She's right there in the same area.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And she was a great protector and of the pharaohs. Was that it?
Yeah. Well, she used the sun god's rays of sunlight to destroy the evil on the planet. So she kind of like Kali, she would destroy and then create. So that's her story. And then if you see her headdress, see this headdress here, that's the walls of Egypt. She's got her headdress. It's a headdress right there. Same thing.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Let me see what we have coming up next.
Now, here's
Horus. He's a bird too.
Yeah, it's the bird. They told me this whole area, which is, if you ever been to Sedona, from uptown all the way to the end of that area, the messages I got was this is the area of the bird tribe. And they're all birds. I mean, most of these figures I'm going to be showing you are birds.
Oh my God.
Ra's a bird. Thoth is an ibis bird, right? Isis, bird wings. Okay. And Nephthys has wings too. I mean, it's amazing. So this is Horus. This is the son of Ra. And he's if you look, he's got his wings back in here, back in there. See right there, there's his wings. And there's his wings. He's that's a statue from Egypt. So interesting, huh?
Very interesting. And very interesting because I have 2 sons that are Bird Clan.
Cool.
Maybe that's why I was drawn to Sedona.
Could be.
They were named, they got Indian names from their grandparents who have since passed, but one was Red Hawk and one was Eagle.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to tell you a secret. My tribe, they named me Flying Eagle with many wings. So
oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm bird tribe too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No wonder I felt like I connected so much with you right out the gate. So anyway, moving right along.
We're family, baby.
That's right. Cool.
All right, so the next one is, now this is Anubis. He's a dog figure. He's a protector of the pharaohs. If the pharaoh has to go to the underworld, he kind of guides them and protects them from the evil demons down there. But it was really an interesting story how I found him. He lost his ears here, but I had a statue from Egypt. I don't have it with me right now. I tell this story on my tour, that the statue from Egypt, and one day it fell over, and I don't know how it fell over. There was no reason for it to fall over, and the ears broke off. And I'm like, how did that happen? Right? And this is before.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah, they're giving me, this is how they give me messages. And I said, so I glued the ears back on. Now, this is before I found Anubis in the rocks, okay?
Uh-huh.
So I glued the ears back on. 3 days later, the ears are missing. They're gone. Can't even find them anywhere in my house, on the floor, nothing. And I'm like, oh my God, this is weird. And then I found them 3 or 4 days later. I found them in the rocks, and I said, oh, that's what you're trying to tell me. You're here and you lost your ears. And they broke off exactly like that picture right there. Exactly the area.
Wow.
Yeah. So I go, Anubis, you're here.
Definitely, you've been being led. That's awesome.
That's how they give me those. You got to pay attention to the messages,
Definitely. Let's see what's next. Here we go.
Okay, so that is Mott.
I was going to ask you how you say her name.
Ma'at.
Ma'at? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she is the god of wisdom and truth and galactic. She's a very galactic being. But in Sedona, that's the Snoopy Rock, what they call Snoopy Rock. They got it totally wrong. When I showed the people uptown of the photos where this is located, they were like, oh my God, you are so right on. She has, if you look on the red rock, she has the feather right here. It's right there. And it's huge. I mean, I've climbed this right here. There's a vortex.
Oh, have you? Wow.
Yeah, there's a vortex right here. I feel I'm very connected to Ma'at. She and I was this piece on her headdress here is huge. It has to weigh at least a ton or something. It looks tiny, but it's huge. Once you climb up there, it's big. So
that's kind of fascinating about her role.
Yeah, she is the cosmic truth. She actually brought in 42 laws to the ancient Egyptians, and the writings about them, and which is really interesting is the Book of Moses, because he actually grew up to be a pharaoh in Egypt. They trained him till he was 16 years old, and he was taught the 42 laws of ancient Egypt, and the 10 commandments happen to be 10 of those 42 laws exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they're like,
Wow.
well, this is, and people don't remember the story with Moses. He went up the mountain, came back down, he got very upset with the people, and he smashed the tablets that was written, and then he went back up and rewrote the tablets, and he put those 10 commandments in, because he said the people are not ready for this other information. So I'm bringing in these. Let's start here with these 10 commandments. So
Wow.
that's huge in our history that we follow. So, and that's part of the ancient Egyptian knowledge and ways of living. So,
yeah, there's a lot that's coming forward that people need to know that has been hidden from them, and we're finding out more all the time. But what really struck me about this is being in your heart.
Yeah,
and how important that is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. This whole project is just like mind blowing to me, and I just love rocks. I actually used to own a crystal store for 9 years before I moved to Sedona, so I was considered a rock hound. So that's what they call them, rock hounds. They're so into crystals and stones. So when I came here to Sedona, I was just like, wow, this is
wow,
beautiful.
I love it here. I love it here. Now here's Hathor. She's a very interesting character too, from a historical standpoint.
Yeah, look at these statues. They're hidden in plain sight.
Yeah,
they are. They're hidden in plain sight. She was the cow goddess, and she has those ears. See the ears? Same thing on both sides. She has both sides of those ears exactly. And there's her face. And look, she's a whole statue there. And she blends in with the rocks, so a lot of people don't see it. And I actually found her off trail. There's no trail to get to where she was. And as soon as I got on top of her, I went, oh my God, look. I go, that's Hathor. I instantly recognized her. So she is the goddess of love and beauty and music and celebration and dance. So she's here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's amazing, the spirits that are here.
Yeah.
Here's another one that I think is rather amazing, and I certainly can see the face too.
Right.
Akhenaten?
Yes.
Is that how you say it?
Akhenaten. Yeah. When I found him, that's a very different story. I always had my 35 millimeter camera, and I found him in this whole area. I took about 8 or half a dozen shots of him. I said to him, I said, Akhenaten, what are you doing here? I go, these are the gods and the goddesses. You're a pharaoh. And I heard him say, okay, you ready? I am much older than they say I am. This is exactly what he tells me. And I get home, I put the pictures in the computer. There's nothing there. I looked at them for days going, I swear I found him. I saw him, and this has never happened to me before. And then 3 days later, I find him in a whole different area. There's another clue. He wanted me to know that he was here.
Wow.
Yeah. And he goes, and he actually said, I want to be in your book. And he's helped me with this whole book. I mean, he's helped a lot with the book. So,
what was his reputation as a pharaoh?
He was the original, the one sun god Ra. That because they had many gods and goddesses in Egypt, so he turned it to monoism, I guess you call it, and him and Nefertiti was his wife. She's very famous, Nefertiti. Yeah. So they were together, but he got shunned because his beliefs in one god instead of many gods. So
okay. Well, yeah, I think in terms of there's a lot of gods and goddesses, but there's only one creator of your soul. But that's a whole nother story.
Right, but there were, I guess, centuries of worshiping many gods and goddesses, and they didn't get it. They took them. They messed them up. The people. I can't. My belief system can't be changed. So there's a lot of sphinxes here too. Sphinxes everywhere. I'm not sure this figure is, but you can see it's like an Egyptian headdress. There's a camel, and then this is from a temple called Horus and Sobek. There is Thoth. That's okay. You can keep going. There's Thoth. He's the ibis bird.
Now, who did you mean with Thoth?
What do you mean?
Didn't you say somebody was writing or working with Thoth?
Ra.
Ra. Okay. Just wanted to be sure. Okay.
Yeah. Thoth has actually come to me. He's one of my guides, actually. Yeah.
Look at how. No, is that amazing?
Yeah. When I found him the second time, he tells me, now this is what he tells me. He goes, now find the kings and the queens. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? 3 days later, I found 3 sets of kings and queens. I would have never noticed unless he told me. And those kings and queens, they talk about them in the ancient history of Atlantis. They said there were 10 kings in Atlantis. And I have them all in the book. I have many, well, I'm not sure all of them, but I have probably about 10 in there. You can go back the other way, forward the other way.
I thought I was going forward.
There you go. Keep going. There's baboons. They're all over. They're guardians. I found them in many places. There's more baboons.
That's amazing too.
Now here we go. Here's some sphinxes. Look at this. It's a whole mountain. They're so big people don't see them. See the paws and everything. Look at the paws down here. There's the face. There's the headdress, the eyes and the mouth, and this is on 179 where you'd have to look straight up to see it. So most people just drive right by it and can't see it. So I felt it. I can feel the energy, and I found the perfect spot to get the whole picture of this huge mountain. And then this one here is another sphinx, and this one looks female to me. Sphinx here. But she has a headdress and her face and everything.
Wow. Let me move to the next one.
All right, this is mind blowing. This is the famous Bell Rock here. They call it. Well, it's a lion sphinx. If you look very closely to this, I wish you could blow that up a little bit. But right here is the face. It has 2 ears.
Does that make it?
I'm sorry.
I don't know if I can. Does that make it any bigger or no?
No. Oh, they're a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, because this one's kind of small here, this picture. But he's got a beard. He's sitting on his throne. Here's his hand. If you look really closely, you can see his fingers. And his foot is right here. So his hand is on his knee. He's sitting on his throne. And
I see it.
Yeah. They said this is the Lion Kingdom, the gate, the Lion's Gate, the Lion Kingdom is Bell Rock. They said it's not a bell, it's a crown, like a king's crown. And okay, you guys ready for this part? Here's a pyramid right here, right there.
Right there.
Yep. Can you see it? Right in front.
Yep.
Right. Hidden in plain sight. I'm telling you. Yeah, and the face comes out. It's a lighting thing. It always comes out about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Before that, you go, how can that be a lion? And it's a lighting that hits it just right and it stays like that for hours, and it's mind blowing. I hope it gets mind blowing. It's there.
It most definitely is. There's no doubt about it. Okay, let's move to see what you got coming up next.
Okay, more sphinxes.
Oh, wow.
More sphinxes. Yeah. There's the other one that's just in Fay Canyon. Larger picture of that one. And more sphinxes. Their faces everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, keep going. That's another sphinx. And a pyramid. See the pyramid now. If you look close.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
See this pyramid, but look at the left side of it. There is ruins up there.
Yeah, it looks like houses or something. Not
Yeah,
houses, but
like a wall of some
yeah.
sort. And yeah, that's pretty hard to climb. You'd have to go by helicopter to get up there because that's very tall. But I keep looking at that going, there's some ancient ruins up
There
there.
definitely are. I see it
Yeah.
too.
See, now more birds. This is the same area of the bird tribe. I call them singing birds.
Birds.
Yeah, see the birds down below on the bottom picture. More, they're all in a row. More birds. There are birds everywhere in this
Wow.
same area. Birds.
You know, I've known about this, and it wasn't until today, speaking with this,
Look at
that this bird clan thing clicked on my head.
That's
It's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, look at more birds. Look at I mean,
They're all over the place.
look, they're all over the place. Birds, and they're all in the same area where they told me the bird tribe was. They're all like little carvings here and there, and yeah, it's still blowing me away. Birds, what they call lizard head, is a bird. It's not a lizard. All right, now we got some dragons.
Ooh.
Yeah, they got the Dragon Palace here. We got the lot, and that's a whole different area. And once you go to this area, you'll see a whole bunch of different dragons. And here's more different dragons. Here's a wizard. Here's like a wizard. If you can see his face close up, you can see his beard and everything. And there's a big dragon. It's so big, people don't see it. There's his mouth, his eye, the whole thing. Another dragon here. See, it's got fingers and everything, but he's like a little guardian.
Wow. There's the Dragon's Palace too. I don't know if we got. Oh wow, here's
one. Look at this. This one has wings. It's just, this is mind blowing. If you really look, he's like
yeah, that kind of reminds me of something that we saw in one of the Avatar movies.
This one, oh yeah, you're right. Look at that. I think I just saw the water. What is it? Water World or whatever. Water one and
oh yeah, the Way of the Water or something like that. Yeah.
More dragons. Here's a boy and his dragon. Here's a female and her dragon.
Oops, I thought I was going to make it bigger yet, but it didn't work.
The book, you got to really, get the book to see the details. More dragons.
Yeah, you can see it even better. Or if you're here in person, they can go on a tour with you.
Yeah, the tour is so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
Tour. They can just contact me. You can put my contact information. You can text me or whatever. If you're in Sedona, I got like 4 calls today. People wanting to take this tour. They're just totally amazed. Now here's the kings and queens that I'm talking about. Queens. Look at that. There's the male on the left. He's got a long beard, and the female's on the right, and she has her mouth open, so she's speaking. And they say in the ancient days, and what they say in Egypt, whoever is sitting on the right side when you facing them is actually in charge. So she's the one with the staff, and she has her mouth open, and she's speaking, and he's just sitting there smiling. So that's look, that's a king and a queen.
Yeah, definitely.
These are so old. I mean, there's more queens. There's the red queen and the white queen, I call it.
Wow.
Two different figures. Here's more kings.
Yeah, you can actually see the differences between female and male just by there's enough there that you can tell.
This was one of my favorite. This was actually the first set of kings and queens I found when Thoth told me to find them. And the one on the left looks like a lion. It does.
A
lion king. Yeah. There were the lion people there that talk about. And then there's the female right there. She's right next to him. Yeah. Once when you really look, you'll see them. There's more kings, and they're sitting on their thrones. They're all over Sedona, everywhere. They're, like I said, no one sees them. Look at this. Look at this guy.
Wow.
Yeah. He's huge too. They're not these little. They're so big. but people don't see them because they're not expecting to see faces in the rocks. Right?
No, I always I see faces in clouds and rocks, and maybe I'm kind of weird.
Love that. I love that. Yeah. Well, they say the cloud faces, cloud people in Native American are the cloud people, and they are 4-dimensional, 4D. They're
Oh,
actually,
really?
yeah, they're actual living beings, and they say that a spirit in 4D can come through a cloud and see and like look down upon the earth, and that fascinates me.
Wow,
So,
that is fascinating.
yeah. So they're saying they're really alive. If you see, there a lot of people see animals in the clouds or faces, and they're beings looking down, going, "What's going on down there?"
I've seen it. I've seen a lot of places in the clouds. That's interesting. I didn't know what to think of it.
I don't
Fascinating.
know. Well, here's another king and queen. Here's the queen. Look at her lips and her nose and her eye. That's the queen. And here's the king right here. Right there's his mouth, his eye, his nose, his headdress. I'm looking at this and still blown away.
Yeah.
Yeah, now, yeah, like these are so old. Like that's why they're so worn down. They kind of blend in, but they're if you look closely to some of these, you can see the faces.
Yes. I I see a number of things there. Oh, okay.
That,
Whoa.
that's what they call Kachina woman.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a great shot of her. That's a really good shot. Okay, another. I
Yeah.
call these. I don't know what kind of beings these are, but they're the male and the female are right there, and this is like a high priestess. You can see the whole cut line here. That in
The one
on the right.
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, look at she's female. You can see that, and she got a headdress on and everything. Her
Priestess.
a priestess. That's exactly the energy I got was a high priestess, and these two are some kind of different beings I've never seen before, but they're 2 eyes and a mouth and a nose.
I see it.
The nose isn't there, but they look kind of bird-like in a sense. Here's the king of the mountain. He's sitting there on his throne.
Throne. Yeah, I see that too. Okay. Oh, what do we have here?
Guardians.
Guardians.
Yeah, this is what I call guardian. Now, this is 2 different areas, and they're the sides of the mountains where they have openings, and they're just these total carved statues, it looks like.
Wow.
More
Oh
guardians.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No one expects to see faces in the rocks, but this one is on Bell Rock on the lower side of it, and that is like a gargoyle guardian.
Wow.
He's
Yeah.
just sitting there. And now, Gail, when you go driving around Sedona, you're going to go, "Oh my God, they're
There it is. I know.
here. This is what she's talking about. They're everywhere." Yeah. And this is Cathedral Rock.
Oh, God.
And look at that's a head.
Look at the guardians.
Yeah. And this is the wizard I was talking about. Look at that. You can really see his eyes and his long beard and his robe.
Yeah.
He's like a robe on. He's a
Yeah.
statue. He's like a statue, just staying there. And these two are very hard to find because you'd have to go really off trail to get to them.
I'll be darned, but that's amazing. That's very. I mean, I can see it really well.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. No, oh my! Here's another one.
He's like another baboonish kind of figure. More animals. This is
Yeah, that is.
I don't know what that is. We have a lot of extinct animals, so we don't know what was happening thousands of years ago.
Exactly, and these were animals with intelligence and communication and all that. I
This
think
one-
it appears that way.
This one reminds me of Buddha for some reason. Look at those lips. If you look closely at those lips, you're gonna go, what? It's like it reminds me. I felt this Buddha energy from it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Wow. Yep. Ooh, here's an interesting.
Yeah, more interesting. This is a female looking up. Yeah, more
The chapel guard.
Yes, they're right next to the chapel, and I mean,
Wow.
yeah, they look at that face. They're like, "Rrr."
Yeah. Oh, here we got the high priest
Yeah.
too.
Well, these almost look Sumerian to me. That some of the Sumerians had headdresses like this,
Oh, okay.
which is very, very, yeah. And look at this is another high priest, and he's like almost like a Sufi high priest, which they had those headdresses like this, and he's praying to the rocks. He's got his eye,
Okay.
his beard, and his robe, and he's separate. Look, he's totally separate from the rocks.
Amazing.
Yeah, more.
I it's amazing all the faces. I mean, there's just faces everywhere.
Everywhere. High priests. They got their robes on. You can tell by the robes, you know. It still blows me away too. Another one. This one here is interesting because it looks like it's been melted.
Yeah.
The rocks are
something
melted,
from the-
right?
yeah.
I mean,
Something.
yeah, it looks to me very Egyptian. He's got that beard, but I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh my God, how
Or
did
you-
this was like looks like melted, you know, carved and melted. I don't know. Maybe they had high tech we don't know about, you know.
Yeah. It's amazing how this is even here to me.
I know
you know?
people that live here when they started seeing my book, they go, "Where is that? I've been here for 22 years and never saw anything like that." And they end up taking my tour. Like 60% of the people that take my tour live in Sedona, and they go, "Where is this? I've been here."
Is this? That's funny.
And then they go, "I will never look at rocks the same again." I love it.
I
love
bet.
that.
This looks like somebody that's looking back.
Yes.
Uh,
He's got to look at if you look at his like robe, it's like folded over and everything. Yeah, he is. I'm not. You know, he reminds me of a high priest. You know, he's looking at the rocks. He's like praying. That face is so big. Took me a lot. I didn't see that for a long time.
Ooh.
Yeah, but it's like the eyes are there and everything.
The eyes. Yeah, that's what I saw first was the eyes.
Yeah, and then the mouth is there, the big
Yep.
goofy nose, and I'm like, that's a being. I don't know who it's supposed to be, but maybe it's a giant, you know, because it's huge.
Of some sort. Yeah. Wow.
And there's like kind of like kind of witchy woman. If you see what I'm talking about, here's her chin, her lips.
Oops, I moved it too fast.
Yeah, you can
Yikes.
go back. You want to go back?
Should I go back? Let me go back.
Yeah, her eye.
It goes around and around a little bit, so I don't know how long it.
Oh.
Sometimes it takes
Yeah.
longer, but okay.
Yeah, so she's in the village.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. The next is I call her Indian Maiden. She just looks like very Native American-ish.
Yeah.
And actually this whole area where I found her, I found more Native American carvings. Just in this whole
Looks like she has a shawl of Native American type.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah. More faces. They're everywhere. Look at this guy. To me, looks like he's got sunglasses on.
Yeah, it does.
This guy is like long beard right here. Okay, so yep.
Sorry about that. I getting too anxious. The beard I'm looking. Oh, right over here.
Yeah, and then this little guy. He's a statue standing over the mountain. You know.
And the guy with the sunglasses on top.
This guy and this guy's, they're both different. They're two different areas. Yeah, we can go to the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, this was like, I found these.
Wow.
And sunrise, I'm on top of the big mesa, airport mesa, and when the light hit for sunrise, the only thing it hit was these two faces first, the sun rays. And I went, oh my God, look at that. They were like, they knew to carve them there, when the sun first hits it in the morning. And this is like more, these are facing east and these are facing west.
On the top one, do you see one in the middle? That
it looks like a queen, some kind of female, smaller.
Yeah. I'm thinking of Linus, and I don't know why.
Could be. I mean, who knows? I mean, see, we got two like it feels like male figures: eye, mouth, eye, nose, mouth, and then her mouth is open too. So these two are speaking. That's what like the Mayans, when they have the mouth open, they say we are speaking. Yeah, she looks like she's got this headdress on. You get when you study these, you go, oh my God, this is just amazing. So
definitely
more faces. We're showing a lot of the faces in the book. So yeah, keep going.
If you have the book, you can really take a good close look, and the stories.
You can get the book on thunderbeat.com or amazon.com. It's called Sedona Faces in the Rocks. These are big faces. And Mad Hatter, now this picture here, I want to tell you, this, I call it Mad Hatter because his hat, I found him in 3 different places. Now, not even close to each other. Look at that. There's this one. Look at the hat. That's a whole different picture, a whole different place he's at. And then I found him over here and another place, miles away from each other. Oh, and here's another one. Actually, 4. If you look at this one, this is a whole separate picture, and I forgot about him. But Mad Hatter. He looks kind of crazy guy, but he's got
hence the name.
But look, he's got that hat. That's why I called him Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I go, there you are again. Who are you?
Ooh. She's a maiden.
Yeah, I call her the maiden. She's all statue, just standing there.
She's just standing there. It looks like, like she's gazing.
Now this is feels more Mayanish or Native American. This is.
I see Native American in the lower half. Definitely Native.
Yeah, and these are close to each other, actually. These two figures here. They're very close to each other, and they're hidden behind houses. I just happened to, happened to see them one day in between a really narrow thing between 2 houses, and I went, "There's a statue back there." So I actually knocked on the door and asked if I could walk back to the backyard and take a picture, and they said, "Yeah, sure." And it was mind blowing because you cannot see this you can't just see this. You'd have to live there to know that the statue's there. And I talked to the lady, and she goes, "Yeah, I knew that looked like something, but I wasn't sure what that was."
What it was. I bet.
That's what she said. And then I said, "Yeah, look at the face." And she goes, "Oh my God, I never saw it that way." Yeah, she's a nice lady. And
you stimulate their thinking of things that could be.
Yeah. I don't know. This whole place is ancient, and who knows what went on there. This one looks like it's holding a child of some sort. More faces. More faces. They're everywhere. This guy has sunglasses. Looks like he's got sunglasses on again.
Yeah. More faces. Oh my God, there's a whole bunch.
Look at this. This is like, has a beard. He reminds me of like Christopher Columbus or something,
Wow.
And I actually took this picture. It was a long hike, like a 2.5-3 hour hike, and way up Snebley Hill Road, and I took some pictures. I didn't even see it till I, put it into my computer and went, "What? Look at that face!" And this one is some kind of female. Look, she's got her whole face is smooth. She's got a big headdress of hair. Yeah.
I'm just amazed.
Yeah, me too. I mean, and I've done it. I've been working on this for years, and I'm still blowing my mind. Going,
Finding more stuff.
every day. I'm almost finding some new faces. It's always expanding. But the tour is a 2-hour tour, and I show you a lot of the ancient Egyptian stuff because it's right there. We can just drive up to it. It's very cool. It's an air-conditioned tour. There's no heat, and it's very high class. A high-class air-conditioned tour. I love it.
Yeah, we showed the video on of the tour on the last show.
This one reminds me of Jesus for some reason. I don't know why. I feel that energy. But look at it's blowing me away. Look at the
I see it too.
It's like, what? And the eye, nose, and this head, like his headgear, his headdress,
Wow. That's what, I don't know if you had already said it or whatever, but as soon as I saw it, that's what came to mind.
Well, you too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting,
Definitely.
huh?
Yeah, very. Wow.
Yeah, I feel it's more like an energy feel,
Yeah.
Now this is like, I said, who is this guy? I changed his name to Elephant Man. I originally called him Octopus Man, but that is the Star Wars figure. If in Star Wars, where they have the Elephant Man or Squid Man or whatever he is, and then look at his arm. It's because he's huge. He's this huge statue. He's totally separate from everything.
Wow.
And he's got this he's got two eyes. You can't see this picture because it's hard to get in front of him because all the rocks and everything. But there's another eye here. He's got the two eyes. Anyway, that's very different. I said, I like him. I'm going to throw him in there. And now, here's my prize. Native American. I call him Sleeping Indian.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Let me tell you about this. Don't let it go. We were backed up in traffic coming down the mountain, which you never can, never get backed up in traffic. It's very rare coming down from Flagstaff. And I was in the passenger seat with I always have my camera with me. And it's a place where you cannot pull over. No way, so you never can stop there. We were backed up in traffic and I went, oh my God, look, there's an Indian face. And I just grabbed that camera and snap. And I brought it home and look, this is mind blowing. He's totally Native American and energy, and call him Sleeping Indian. And you know what? To this day, I can't find him because you can't stop. You're not allowed to stop that area at all. There's no place to even pull over your car. It's on a cliff, the ledge, the ledge where you can't pull over. So I can't even go slow enough to find him again because of traffic, So I just lucked out that day. I just lucked out. Thank you.
Yeah, really. That's amazing.
So that's just another things I put together. Looks like
interesting.
God. This is called Cathedral Rock, right? And then there's the male hand and there's the female hand, and I call it the hands of God and goddesses. So it just reminds me there's a thumb and everything, and the fingers, right?
Yeah.
And more figures. I mean, the book goes on and on. It has lots of fun animal stuff in there.
Lion horse. Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out what that is. Another one of those animals that is extinct. Okay, here we go. Now this is mind blowing. So to me too.
Yes, it is.
Here's like baby Ganesh right here, and look at that. Looks like it's melted. He's got his trunk.
Yeah, kind of like you. Yeah.
Right, and then this one is his trunk is up, and he's got his headdress. His royal crown. He's sitting on his throne, and he's so obvious. He's in the village. These are both right next to each other. They're very close. And this one's up the canyon. This is another one I took a shot and go, what is an elephant doing here?
Exactly.
It's an elephant.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, let's go. We only got a couple left. That's pretty amazing.
No, there's
Horse chess
I
piece.
call it a horse chess piece. That's what it reminded me of, a horse and like those chess pieces in when you play chess.
Chess. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's why I call it that. And there's the information in the drive tour. There's my phone number. You can always text me or call me, and I can get you scheduled in. It's fun, and mind blowing at the same time. And yes, bring your camera. You can take pictures,
Definitely. Yeah. And what's the last one we got here?
Yeah, that's a lot of my
There you
music. I'm a musician, composer, and these are all activational. Everything I do, I've been playing since I was 15 years old. Music or performing, and there's a DNA activation, chakras, ascension CD. This is cosmic. This is Mayan. This is Egyptian. This is Native American. I do all kinds of genres, obviously, and even rock. I used to be in rock bands for 15 years before I went solo and started doing all this beautiful spiritual stuff, which was pretty cool. So there's some hard rock stuff in there too, and there's a couple of my books, my other books. That's what that is all about. And you can actually go to SiriusStargate.com and listen to my music for free. And you can download anything you like.
Oh, serious. Okay, I don't think I have that in the description. I wasn't aware of that one.
Yeah,
is that on here?
SiriusStargate.com on the book. It's in the book, but I mean, you can go online and, like I said, you can listen to everything for free. And if you like something, just download it. It's very inexpensive. And like I said, every CD is totally different. Total different journey music. Woo-woo. Take you out.
That's, yeah. We all have so much going on from a consciousness standpoint right now and an awareness standpoint. And so much truth is coming forward. It's an exciting time to be alive. It really is.
Yes, I think it's the great awakening. Absolutely.
Definitely.
And I'm so glad that a lot of this ancient knowledge is coming forth. And I remember when I went in school, I said, this history class, I was a straight A student except for history. I said, this is all lies. I said, this is boring.
I didn't like history either.
I thought I hated history. No, I love history when they tell you the truth. And the real cool, the good stuff, all that stuff in school is just nonsense. So, really.
There's a few things in the chat that I realized that people were saying. So let me put this up so you can answer this. First of all, she asked, are these statues? They look like it.
No, they look like statues, definitely carved. Yes, and they are like sleeping giants. They're huge. They're huge. They're beautiful. Like I said, they're so big people don't see them, But any other questions they have?
Somebody mentioned that. We'll just say I let Alan put that. I think the USA is actually Atlantis.
Yes, I agree. But I don't want people to think this is crazy, but I really feel it went back to the Atlantean days. Absolutely. With the kings and the queens, and then the ancient knowledge of Atlantis talked about the kings ruling the different islands and areas, and Atlantis was all over the world. They could travel all over the world. So it's not just one area. It could have been transported here too, the whole place. Who knows? Because when you Google Earth and you look at Sedona, it's a perfect circle. And I'm like, oh, check that out. That's very strange.
Really?
Yeah. If you Google Earth and you can see it from the above, you see this red rock. It's a perfect circle. It's amazing. It looks like
I'll be done.
And everything outside of Sedona is different. Is desolate. It's totally different. Now, where did this come from? Like middle of nowhere. Maybe they saved it. Maybe it's their library.
Maybe they. Who knows?
The fall of Atlantis. Who knows? Anything is possible. How's that?
Well, that's right. That's right. here it says in Felicity, Arizona, there's a place, and it's the center of the earth owned by a Roth. I don't know what that means.
Roth? Don't tell
Could
me
you-
it's owned by the Rothschilds.
Maybe. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, I gotta look that up. What is it? Oh, how do you spell that?
give me Felicity.
Oh,
Felicity.
I never City, Arizona. I never heard of it. Okay, I'll check that out.
I haven't
And
either.
it's the center of the earth, owned by a Roth. I think that's what she means, or he means, Rothschild. Interesting.
Okay, somebody says here too that they found a pyramid in Louisiana.
I believe it. They're everywhere. They're all over. In Louisiana, they found, and that's another place, Louisiana. Let's see, Illinois. They found more ancient Egyptian stuff there too. Then caves. We're hiding it.
Isn't that amazing?
They're hiding it. One of these days, I'll bring it out because a guy who found it, he was, had all kinds of videos out, and they shut him down. They shut him down.
And they're not, as more and more people find out stuff, I just tell people, they don't want to be taken down. If everybody just posted what they wanted and just posted anyway, they can't take everything. And the information is going to get out. So she's wondering if the sleeping giants are going to awake.
I don't know. They might come back. Who knows?
Their spirit could. Yeah, very easily. Well, all right. I guess that we pretty much covered everything. You have the tour, you have your website, you have the music and everything on your websites, and so that information is in the
Chat.
The description of the
ThunderBeat.com. Easy to get to. ThunderBeat.com will give you all everything that I do. I do activation sessions, sound healing, DNA activations. Readings actually, and my books. So it's fun stuff, ThunderBeat.com. And my music's on SiriusStargate.com. So
yeah, that's the one I gotta check out. I haven't been there yet. Maybe we should do something on music someday.
You would love it.
So
yeah,
I would, I'm sure. All right, well, I think that makes us we got a wrap here.
Thank you.
What fun. Thank you. Fascinating stuff. Absolutely fascinating.
I'm blown away. And like I said, I've been working on this for 20 years. So many blessings to you all. And if you have any questions, you can always, text me, or, you can email me from my website. So cool.
And you're on Facebook too, aren't you?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Under Devara, Devara ThunderBeat.
Alrighty then. Okay. Thank you so much for all the wonderful information.
Okay, have a blessed day.
You too. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. See you again time.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are, and like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show